stick on some diagrams real quick because I've got to do a little bit of a conversion here. Wind has just now started to pick up, so we will deal with that too. I'll have to track my papers down little by little. One that went flying, and find out where the other one misspelled. Huh. I don't know. Oh, there it is. You little boogers. Today, let's go ahead and get back down here. We're going to be working on this section of tower. I'm going to back up just a smidge so you guys can see what I'm messing with over here. Also, not going to risk. I wonder if this is a risk. I'm pull the whole thing down. I'm not going to risk anything dying, so I'm going to change up something I was doing. I've messed around on my lives before and went live and didn't prepare properly. All my stuff died. Phone died, gimbal died, all that stuff. And I need to focus on some work today. So we're gonna. Oh no. Yeah, I put it over here. Sweet. We're gonna focus on some work today. So we're not gonna be asking the phone to stay charged. We're gonna be hooking a pretty big battery pack up, and we'll deal with it from there. Okay. So we'll see. You guys let me know if it's jacked up again on the live. If it is, it is. I can't do nothing about it. But let me know if the photo quality's jacked or something, or if it's glitching out like it was yesterday. I hope it's not. That would be great if it's working fine. So now I need to match my wires. P1 equals P1. So I got T1. T1. We got to find out. Black and red are the ones to swap. P5 and 8 are the ones to swap for clockwise. So P5. So P1, P2, and then T2 through P1. I'll just do it this way. T2, T3, T8, T2, T4, and T5. I need to label and identify the ones that I know. So P1 is P1. P2 should be the same, but I'll see in a moment. We have a swap black and red if we need to. We'll swap 5 and 8. So 5 and 8. So let me read this real quick. Give me a second. That's rotation to clockwise is reverse. Rotation counterclockwise. So the start position is where it's interchange black and red. So black is going to be black and red. Black and red. So red and black. Do the comments for those. T5 and 8. T5 is black. All right. And then T8 is going to be red. T8 is red. So what we're doing is we're doing a pin out on wiring configuration. So I have to pin out the difference in these wires. It is time over here. It is 4:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope you guys are doing well. We're doing some tower work right here. So if you guys want to know what kind of it looks like, let's go up real quick. Let me unplug this real quick. Up, up, up. See that booger? This is what we're working on today. Like I said, 4:23 p.m. All right. So from there, I've got to identify the two connecting leads. So T2 goes to T4. So T2 and T4 tie together. So if I look at T2 and T4, that's going to be off of L2 right here. And if I look right here, line 2. Line 2 is here and insulate right here. And this is, okay, line 2 right there. So line 2 is going to be our black. Our black is our main common. Our T5 is our main common. So our T5 is our black. So black, white, and yellow. White and yellow right there for that one for our line 2. And our line 2 is our T5. So black. So T2 and T4 is our white and our yellow. So it doesn't matter which one's which. So these are going to tie together. So it doesn't matter. So each one of these will be the same one. So if our T2 and our T4 is the same, it won't make a difference. Yeah. So this is a tower, a portable tower. So let's move on to the next and get to work. So I need to find my next one real quick. It's going to be our T8 is our red. So our P2 and our T3. P2 and T3 is our red. So it's going to be our P2 and our orange. P2 and orange. P2, our P2 and our orange. So we just identified every wire. And then of course we've got ground. So this is our pin out conversion to pin out this new motor. So let's go ahead and grab the motor and we'll zoom in. And then I have my layout figured out. So here we go. Go ahead and grab this motor. Go ahead and knock this out real quick. So I got to knock this out of here. Let's go ahead and zoom in, let you guys see what's going on. We're going to be working over here on the back side of that motor. Punch. Perfect. That was pretty great. Got my fingers a little bit, but not too bad. Sweet. So now, let's just twist it around. So we've got to get all this wiring right here poked through. Since I know the configuration now, not as concerned about everything else. Now we gotta grab our tighten this on. Let me get you guys in a better spot. Can you guys see what I'm doing? Pretty much. So I'll stand out of the way real quick. All right. We wiring this tower up, like I said earlier. So get a flathead and just start tightening it up. Try not to get a short one. The longer it is, the less likely your fingers are, your knuckles are to get busted. All right, that's up. Next is going to be our hardware. And then we're going to put our pulley on. And then our belt. I don't know if it's a 20-inch on the money belt, but it's a Daco 4L370. For anybody looking for these, it's a Daco 4L370. All right. So now you got to line this booger up straight. Doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to eyeball it. You want the motor to turn nice and even. We'll get our Andy Danny Allen set. Let me see if you guys can see this. Yeah, you can see what I'm doing. Hello, hello, YouTube. Hello, Facebook. Hope you guys are doing well. We're again, like I said, working on this motor right here. Got to get it fixed so we can start raising the tower. So if this is wrong, then what I'll do is I'll just loosen the Allen and move the shaft. This is the size I need, so I'm just going to keep it out, and I'll put the other one away. Well, no, let's just put it up. You don't put stuff away, you'll have problems. This is one of the shirts, the D1 Supply shirts. All right. Now, I have made a mistake, not a big one, but a minor one. I'm going to have to go back in and grab a 1/2 inch wrench. If I don't get the 1/2 inch, I don't know, it might fit. We'll see. So what I currently have for a wrench, I thought I had something smaller. That's just my little ratcheting crescent. That's going to be a pain in the neck. Go get a 1/2 inch wrench, and I'll be back in just a moment or so. Let you guys see what the heck's going on. So I'll put you guys back with a view. Let you guys see what we're working on real quick. This booger up here. But y'all look at that for a minute. I gotta go get the 1/2 inch wrench, or else this is gonna be a pain. So I may lose connection. It might come back. I don't know. We got the wrench. Now let's do the work. It's nice having a toolbox close, but it's also annoying not having one sitting right beside me. So we'll pull back down to our workpiece, and we're working on this piece right here. Let me know if the video is choppy, guys. I'm kind of curious. If it's still messing up, then I'll have to deal with it later. Huh. No, that ain't gonna work. Not yet. So I have a ratcheting box wrench. So it ratchets on this feature right here. It works decent. It's anything like this is always a pain to use, but it's definitely faster than just having a box wrench on here. It's I'm pretty happy with this one. I had another ratcheting box wrench that I was showing you guys before, and it just it wasn't quite as practical as what this one is actually. This is working pretty well. And it doesn't really matter if this thing is centered. I need to be outside on the hole. That'll be fine. Come on, you can do it. Nope, pick this one. Not quite. We'll see if we can get away with this. Yeah. This one's not quite as thick as the other one. Come on, you can do it. It's not that cold today. To be honest, I probably should take this jacket off. Uh, get it on there as tight as you can by hand. Dang, that's pretty impressive. Doo-doo-doo. All right. Next to this last piece over here. This stuff is all part of what it takes to tighten this, to put something on here. But it definitely is something that a lot of you guys find boring. But hey, it's part of the work. It's what it takes to do to get it done. You guys got questions? Y'all feel free to ask. It don't hurt my feelings to answer them. What you guys want to know? Facebook guys, YouTube guys, Twitch guys. Hope you guys are doing good. Okay, so we've got our pin out here. You guys look a little closer over here. Pin out there. There's one motor wiring. There's another motor wiring. And I'm using all those to come up with this. So we'll zoom out just a smidge. There we go. So I'm going to be referencing these. This is to confirm. So our white and our yellow tie together, and a P2 and our orange tie together. Let's go ahead and mark that real quick. Pen is in my pocket. No. Where's my pen? It is in my pocket. So our P2 and our orange go together. Our T1 and our blue to go together. What is this one? T1 and blue? Where is T1 and blue? T1 and blue is here. Uh, T1, blue go together. T1 and blue go together. All right, T1 and blue. T1 and blue would be our T3 and our P2. Not our T8, P2. All right, so T3 and P2 is going to be our T1 and our blue, and then our orange and our P2 is going to be here. So these will internally connect together right here. P2 and orange together, blue and T1, P2 and orange, now blue and T1. That's internal. So these are all internal adjustments or internal settings. So T3 and P2 tie together. P2 and T3 tie together right here. That's marked right here. T1 and blue. P2, T3, P2 and orange. P2 and T3 is orange. P2 and T3. One, two, three. One, two, three. So I got to figure this out real quick. Give me just a second. So we got to figure out orange and P2. Blue and T1. Oh, this one just doesn't mention them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so this has got 9. So these two, uh, the blue and the T1, that is not correct. Blue and T1 internally tie together. This one does not have an external connection for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 leads. So this wire doesn't matter. It's already done internally on that unit, this unit. So we'll make sure T1 right here. So see, this is already internally wired right here to that lead. So we will just wrap this wiring back up. Put it back up inside there. Then we need to look T5 and T4. So T5 and T4 will separate. They are not together. T4 is our yellow and T2 is our white. Our black is our T5. This is our red. We're not concerned about that at the moment. So T4 and our T2. T2. So I'm going to put you guys in a better spot. You guys can't see from over there. We'll go ahead and get closer so that I can work and you guys can hang out. I don't know if this is how I want to do this or not, but that's how I'm going to set it up. Put these ones here. So I need P3 to P2. Let's just see if this lines up. P3, P3, T3 to P2, T3 to P2. That's correct. T2 to T4. T1 single, T8 single. Shutdown single. T8 is a red wire, and a red wire goes to blue. All right. Red is external, goes to blue. Then we're going to go ahead and look at yellow and white together. Yellow and white together go to black. External black. Got it. Now look at our white right here. Our black, our T5 black goes to white. Got it. Cool. So we just did blue, black, white. So we have a blue, a black, and a white. And we have a yellow. That's yellow. Let's call this yellow. When it comes out of here, it's definitely a yellow. Let's call it a yellow. That is faded yellow, but that's definitely a yellow. Okay. Which black is this though? All right, so now I got to figure out which one of this black is real quick. This is the actual black, and that is a white. And P1 is what that should be. Let me see real quick. That's the only number with a 1 on it. Could be a P, could be a T. There's no such thing as a T1. There's only one. Yeah, there's only one 1 in this whole circuit. It's P1. So it's this one right here, and that goes to a yellow wire. So P1 is P1. So let's go ahead and pull this out. Let's find a truly, there's P2, there's P1. P1 goes over here. That makes sense because it's on an overload switch right here. So P1 should be yellow. Let's hold this up. I'm not going to do like great connections today. We're going to be doing temporary because we got to make sure everything's right. They just used a barrel connector in here. I'm just going to do little wire nuts. I hate these things, but I'm going to use them just because um, we need to test these circuits, not just run them as is. So P1 and then P1. This is temporary. This is not permanent. They're holding them together. That's fine. Facebook, is this messing up? You guys, please let me know. Uh, if you guys got anything to say, just say, hey, this video is messing up or glitching up. If it's not, great. I'm happy. If it is, let me know, please. So we'll go ahead and go to the other single, which is going to be T5. This is P2. Where's P2 go to? P2 and orange tie together. So P2 and T3 tie together. Where's T3? P2 and T3. P2 and T3. All right. Next, P2, T3, T8 is red. So T8's, well, no, hang on. It's a red wire, goes to a blue. T8 is red. So T8 is here. We'll take T8 out of line. All right, done. Let's go ahead and get this wire wired up, which is our ground. We'll go ahead and tie these all down here. So we still have our this and these, right? We still have this. Let's go ahead and use our little nut driver. Ah, cool. That's great to know. Appreciate it. Thanks. All right, back to work. So I'm doing a whole pinout setup on this one, so I had to do a whole conversion to figure out what wire goes to what because I don't have a unfortunately US Tower doesn't give schematics with their equipment. So there's a bunch of limit switches and other things tied in line right now. So it makes it significantly harder to get everything set up. I know I gotta find the screw I just dropped. There it is. Whew, not good. So smart way to do this and not the irresponsible way is to partially tighten it up because this is just a set of forks. So line this ground up, tighten that bugger up. Look, ground's attached. We'll go ahead and go to the next. Get to work. So from here, like I said, we only have a few wires left. So we're going to look and see what we have. We have T5, we have T2, and then we have T4. T2 and T4 go together for this configuration. If this motor goes up in smoke, then all that uh, looking I just did was for naught, and I was wrong in some way. Uh, Ideally, I'm gonna go through and either probably just crimp these back in line with a set of butt connectors rather than these caps. I'll probably take this cap that they crimped on here off also and just connect everything in. But I need to confirm that all this stuff is working, and then I've got a lot more work I need to get done. So it'll probably get capped off for a little bit. So hang on. T2 and T4. T2 and T4 actually get tied in line with black. So I did that a little bit early. So what I'll do, got black. If you look, that's just crimped in there. It's nothing special. Not like they did this. I thought they soldered it to begin with, but they did not. It was not soldered. All right. So T2 and T4 go to black. This is a 7 wire. The other one was a 9 wire. This is technically a 9 wire, but it's already, like I said, been wired up. And those two leads on the 9 wire just tied to each other on the inside of the unit. So technically, realistically, this is only a 5 wire. Really a 4 wire because this is just ground coming from the unit. It doesn't have anything to do with anything else. Okay, next is going to be pretty much the last wire left. So just to confirm, T5 should be right here. And this is our T5. T5. Let's strip this back a little further. I don't like that. So, got cap right here. Again, this is a temporary setup. I just need to confirm that it's going to work. So, I had an issue with my switch initially. Also, I have to make sure my interlock is in right now, and my interlock is in right now. So if anybody doesn't know what an interlock is, I've already run it up before. See this right here? All those, I don't know if you guys can see it or not. I guess not. Let me loosen this up. Give me a second. All right, so these knife looking things right up there, that piece right there. So I'm gonna put my finger on it. That right there is an interlock. It goes into the tower. Whenever I throw guy wires on it, it'll interlock in and then pulls back out whenever I'm not running guy wires. All right, back to our motor. Let's see if this booger smokes, and we'll try it out. So I'm just going to flip it real quick. If I've done anything wrong, there is a reset. If I've wired it wrong, the armature smokes. It's not the end of the world. As far as I believe it should be right. So, well, nothing there. So now I've got to figure out if I blew a fuse last time whenever I wired this up. This is already reset. I did check for voltage here. I'm pretty sure I'm plugged up. Now, Sean, another guy that I know, he wired a little bit different than what I did. But according to pinout, I should be correct. But let's look. All right, that's wired. We're fine there. Check and see if our fuse is down. And also, make sure all our wires are good. Oh, P1 is P1. P1 is line 1. P1 is going to be right. Uh, pull it out and look. Line 1 should be, what is P1? P1 should be yellow. So this should be our P1. P1 goes to feed here. That's fine. And confirming is P1. Going on the old one, blue to T1 should tie together inside. Blue to T1 is going to be not labeled on this unit, but it should be T1 right here to T1 right here, which is just these two pieces that are tied in together right here. All that is the wiring for the breaker. The way the breaker is done on this one is it's on the side of the unit inside the pecker head. The other one is on the external of the motor. So it makes sense why it would not be listed. So from here, we'll look into our next, our P2 and our T3. P2 and T3 should have been our orange and our red. Our P2 and our orange were tied together. Our P2 and our orange were tied together. That confirms that. That was already done on the original unit. So this says P2 on the side and it says orange. This is the blue and the T1. That was the one that I mentioned earlier that was done internally. So then we want to look and see, we had our, black, that was T5 and our black that was wired out to white. That was this black wire right here that I cut off. And this is white. Let's just confirm real quick. We have this wiring going out. We have a white and we have a yellow, and then we have a couple more colors for the interlocks that are down here. So that's not part of the system, but there is a white, a yellow, a blue. All right. So now let's look at the last one. We're all the way down to white. That would be white and yellow are tied together. So white and yellow are the same, just to confirm. White and yellow are the same, and they're on line 2. Line 2 is our black. Our black is our the same as our T5. So just to confirm, our black needed to be isolated. Normally, if you're turning the motor one way, there's going to be white, yellow, and black tied together for line 2. So mine would be white and yellow tied together, then black is going to be on a switch, and that's going to be right here. So let's take a look real quick. So white and yellow is T2 and T4. T2 and T4 is tied in, and they are pulled into right here, making contact. So I didn't disconnect. Is this enough? This is fine. This is in. We're not messing with tilt. Tilt stand still. Here, the next one is going to be. We already got T2, T4 went black. We have black going to a white wire. Black is the same as our T5. Just to confirm, on our T5, that's part of our L2, which is our line 2. Our black is part of our line 2. So this is wired correctly. So everything on the wiring is right. I just need to make sure we're getting voltage to line 2, which is going to be our black, and then to our P1. Our P1 is going to be here, wherever the heck it's at. What is our P1 color? Yellow. So our P1 yellow is right here. If that pulls out, it does not. We're good. Check our voltage. Oh, where I put the screwdriver. Voltage on P1. And then now I need to see voltage on, if this is correct, I would see voltage on either colors, black and red, or T5 and T8. Let's look up T5 and T8. So T8 goes to blue, and T5 goes to white. So I can check to white and see if I have a switched voltage to white. I have a switched voltage going to white properly. And then I need to see if I have a switch voltage going to, what was it? It said white. And then blue would be our red. So if I have switch voltage going to that. Yeah, red. Yeah. Okay. We do not have the proper voltage going to our retract. I did see that before. That was already the case. But now I got to figure out why a new motor that's just wired up is not picking up on voltage. So I should have motor engagement. I do have ground. I do have wiring to a low voltage connect. Our low voltage is our 115. We have 120 volts going to it. So we have the proper voltage going to P1, and we have the proper voltage going to, in this case, for, what is this? Extend. I don't know if that's clockwise or counterclockwise, but it's just for one position. That would be for, we had proper voltage going to which one? Whatever. Let's look. That would have been, and what is T2 and T4? What does black wire do? So P1 is line. That's going to be our yellow. Our line in is yellow. Our line out, which is switched, is going to be between white and blue. So this is our line out. So blue and white. These two are our line out. And then our black, what is our black doing? Our black ties in our T2 to T4, T2 to T4, T2, T4 is just our leads going out. I don't know what T2 to T4 is. Maybe it's my switch that has failed that's causing me an issue. So I got to figure out why T2 and T4. If you guys look, so I have voltage going to the right place, but I'm not quite sure why this lead is not working. This lead is engaging. Also, our black, hang on, what was it? Our black and red. Our black is our black was going to white. Yeah. The other issue is on a switch. It doesn't switch to the proper voltage on there. Maybe it switches to the proper voltage here if I did that. Let's just check. I'm kind of curious. No. So, so I already had an issue with the old motor not reading voltage one direction. And then, yeah, I already had that. All right. So this is my issue from here. Bring it up slow with the variac. So I need to understand, even though, let's check out my pinout. I'll show you guys what I'm dealing with. Let's move this right here. So anybody who has worked with electric motors, if you could tell me this would help me a lot. All right. So if you look right here, let me get off that, cancel that. Ooh, up. Zoom out real quick. I mean, I guess I could show you on the side of this motor, but yeah, sure. Let's show you on the side of the motor. So let's get a better quality photo. So if you guys look, can you guys see that? What? Focus better than that? Let's zoom in. Watch out, buddy. All right. So that's our high voltage. We're not worried about that. So currently, let's zoom out just a smidge. So if you look right here, T5 and T8. If you want to interchange the leads, change this lead for clockwise operation. So you move T5 over to T8's position and move T8 back to T5's position. That's how you swap the directions. P1 is our line. Then between T2 and T4 and T5 is our line 2. So currently in normal configuration, T2 and T4 goes out for our part of our line. Okay. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. T2 and T4 being part of our line that's got to connect together in the switch. If the switch has got a problem, that would probably make sense for my issue. So now I got to figure out where, now that I see this, I have to look in here and figure out if I've got connection on all my wires inside here. So up and over. This is just part of troubleshooting. I got to figure out, the first thing I need to do is check this fuse up here. I do have voltage on here, so I could kill voltage just by unhooking it, but I need to kind of trace voltage at the same time. I could actually let's do a continuity test. So give me just a second, and I'm gonna go ahead and unplug our unit real quick. So, so I'm gonna do a trace on this. Unplug that power cord. No, actually, just pass it over here, the pink one. Here, yeah, go ahead and get water, or you can get it out of the spigot by the well house. There's a spigot right there. You can drink it out of that. Or you can get it out of the house. I don't care. Okay. We've disconnected power. So now our job is to trace our wiring. So I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to trace between this unit over here. It goes into this, right here. Goes up here. Whoop. Hang on. Back. Yeah. Goes up here. Keeps on going up and goes around. Comes back down right here into the unit right there. So this is the wiring I'm going to be tracing over here. So I think I'm going to zoom out just for a second so you guys can see everything, even though I'm talking about that. So I'm going to be testing between these two. I'm going to put you guys in a better spot than that for now. That's way y'all can see and I'm not standing in the way. So now we're just going to be going for continuity testing from here. So yellow, passing through here, going to here, going to the top side of our switch. So our yellow, we already looked, that's P1. That's going to be our one side of our line. So from there, we got to go ahead and see where the next one goes. We're going to go ahead and trace our, say, our white, I believe. So our white was the one that did not want to work, I believe. So we'll poke this into our white. See if I can get it to hold. There we go. Come on, you can stay there. I would appreciate it. So we go to our white, and our white does not make contact. What's going on? Let's trace this white to here. So there is a such thing as an interlock. So interlock is not affecting us here. There's only one interlock in line with the system, and that is this interlock here. So interlock should be the extra colors. I don't think it's going to, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't see any reason why in this location right here that they would connect any wires together. But let's just confirm, because it's always good to know. Yeah, I forgot I had this. So I was wanting to get more accomplished today, but we've got to troubleshoot some wiring. So now the issue that I'm having a little bit of a problem with is the fact that this worked beforehand. I had uh I had power on this other motor before this motor, so it makes me lean towards there being another issue. So if you look right here, there's two wires that's tied in. It's going to be this green and this brown. This green goes down to that interlock. Oh, there's another interlock. So if I look over here, there's another interlock here. And I don't know how or under what circumstance that interlock would ever trip. I don't really understand that one. So, but regardless, it's just green and orange. So then there's also, uh, looks to be one, two, three. So it's one incoming and two outgoing. That's fine. That's three leads. They're tied in by themselves. If you look, our blue and our red, which is two additional wires. We have a white, a blue, a black, and a yellow. White, blue, black, yellow. That is all my colors coming out of this unit right here. And there's also a green. The green is just the ground of the unit itself. So that's fine. Alright, so now all the colors go up and they are just a straight pass through except for the green. So the green ties in line with interlocks. So interlock, just making sure the interlock has reference to ground so it can actually work and function as an interlock. So that's fine. Everything just passes through. So now we know that no wiring is going to have any problems in this area right here. Let's just go ahead and put this back together. This is not going to be our problem. So if I had a schematic from US Tower, that would be pretty great, but I don't. And I'm quite confident that everything is wired so far the way the old one was. because I have color for color comparison and everything was working before. I did have a problem with the retract function, but again, this is part of wiring and this is how this goes. So now we are testing our white. We need to see if we have contact. Okay, white is fine. It was just poor contact right here. It's connected all the way through. White wire goes over here to this part of the switch. So it is on the common terminal of the switch. The retracted position is what position of the switch is going to be on the, let me check real quick. We just measured this just a moment ago. This is interesting. Okay. So the retracted portion of the switch is going to be on the yellow. So that's yellow. So whenever I flip down and go into the retracted position, we have yellow shorting out with white. So yellow goes to white. That would be the P1 position to the black position. So P1 would be black. That should be for black is, oh, hang on. So P1, yellow and white is the next one. Hang on. So yellow and white, white is black. T5 wire. So T5 is our low voltage line 2. So this is our typical counterclockwise operation. So we should be going counterclockwise when I go down in the retracted position. It should be going counterclockwise. When we go into the extended position, we should be turning clockwise. So counterclockwise and then clockwise. So now the counterclockwise position is a problem. So whenever I go down, that would be a problem between our white right here and our yellow. So if I flip this switch, now this may be the way the switch is made, isolated from one another. So it may not be a direct contact. So don't expect it to beep. There's no, but it is. It is. So all three, the way this switch is made, I just determined that too. So it has basically a rail, and a rail. So you have 1, 2, 3 contacts on that rail, 1, 2, 3 contacts on that rail, and 1, 2, 3 contacts on that rail. So right now we have the proper connection for a retracted position. Let me check that one more time. Retracted makes contact. So now let's go ahead and check our contact. So we already checked our T5 and we checked our P1. So now we need to check our T2, our white. So T2 white goes to a black wire. So we'll check our black wire right here. Jam that booger up in there. So black wire making contact makes continuity all the way up. So black wire makes a really weird position. Doesn't make sense. So black wire is our white and our yellow. That's also going to our common terminal. That is interesting. And then that shorts and jumps between one pin to the other pin. That's so weird. Okay. So now that's black. So now we need to check so we're making contact all the way to the switch. From there, we have our, so that was our T2 and our T4 to our black wire. We need to check our T8 to our blue wire. T8 to blue should be the bottom side of our switch. T8 to blue is the bottom side of our switch. So we're making continuity all the way through. So let's try this blue. This is the wrong blue right here. Okay, so now blue does something really weird on this one, but it's going to there. Cool, we're good. Never mind. blue to there, blue to there. Blue makes continuity all the way through. So from there, we have a jumpered out position on the center pin, and that jumpers back down to yellow, and yellow goes back to here and goes back to our P1. So our P1 does some wicked stuff right here. But now let's go ahead, since we've determined all of our wiring is making contact. But now let's check and see. Fuse is still good in here. So our fuse is good. I've determined that each position goes to each pin. So the only thing I can look at from here is to see our interconnect. Is our T3 and our P2 tied together properly? It's holding in pretty solid. There should be no real questions about whether those are tied in together. T3 is held in, doing good. So, interconnect for our reset switch, still working fine. So far our wiring is hooked up properly. Everything's hooked up and wired up from here. The only thing I do want to know is, according to this old pinout, this is how this is set up. This was another pinout that somebody else did. They tied T3 to P2, T3 to P2. Then they went T2 to T4. That went to one single external wire. That's done. T5 went to one single external. P1 went to one single external, and T8 went to a single external. So T3, P2, T3, P2. It's paralleled together. Done. T2, T4, T2, T4, parallel to one single. Done. 5, external, 8, external. Okay, so this lines up, and this confirms that that configuration is also right. So I've got to figure out why I'm getting voltage to the motor. So let me see if I get what voltage when this switch is put in line. So the only thing I don't understand is this right here. So this black wire and what it does. It is a insulated connection on T2, T4. Is it T2, T4? So T2 and T4 tie together, and this T2, T4, this right here goes together along with um, a swapped position between T8 and T5. So we got T8. So this altogether makes one voltage, right? When all three of these are tied together, that makes a voltage, and that turns the motor one direction. So what I would need to do, and would be smart for me to go ahead and do, is I really would need to bypass the switch to see. So now I got to see how this is going. So this black wire, which is of course the one that goes in for T2 and T4, goes into the common side of our switch. Go ahead and turn that off real quick. It don't matter. So everything is wired in properly now, from what I can tell. Can you guys see through me, maybe? All right, I'll show you the switch, I guess. Let's do that. So this is just me troubleshooting right here. So there is a jumper that ties in our white wire, which is going to be our T5, our black. That's going to be our T5. Our black is our line 2. This is so this is what confuses me. So we have our T5 goes right here, and then our black right here, which is our T2 and our T4. So our T2, T4, and our T5 are all T2, T4, T5. So let's check this real quick. This is another thing I need to know that I thought was the case, but it may have just been jumpered out in some way. So let me see if these are isolated portions of the switch. So I check this lead. No, that's jumpered, of course. We see that. But now, is this an isolated position? Okay, it is isolated. So instead of it being all three wires tied on each rail, it is one wire, one wire, one wire. So that makes a lot more sense now. Okay, cool. So they doubled up the poles on the main P1 line right here. And then on basically our T5 line right here, which is our black, or excuse me, our T2, T4 line is our black. This is our switched supply rail. So we got to tie in our T2 and T4 either with our T5 black or with our T8 red. So the way we'll do that is we'll run them up here. So if I look, when I flip the switch into the down position, it goes up to the up position right here. So that would take our black and put it in line with our blue. Our blue is run down here and would run down to this other black wire, which feeds out to a brown wire. Don't know where that goes. I'm not super concerned about knowing all that yet. But let me look quick. Hang on a second. Our black ties in with our blue. That's all that really matters for the most part. This blue wire right here feeds back into this blue right here, and this blue is our T8. Our black and our T8 tying in with our T2 and our T4 means it rotated the position. So our black is our T5. No. Our black is our T2 and our T4. So our T2 and T4, if we want to swap position, we need to change our T2 and T4 and attach it to our T8. So our T8 is our red, which goes to a blue wire. So the blue wire, our black wire should tie in with our blue, and our blue goes into there. So that's correct. Well, the way this wire's in, all three leads tie in together and turn into our blue. That makes sense. So then, if we want to have the other operation, we need to have our T2, T4, and T5 connected together. Our T5, again, going back to it, is our white wire. So this is the one that I don't quite get yet. I'm trying to figure it out. It's normal operation, so it's not going to operate any differently. So this would be the position it's currently operating correctly in. Oh, let's check this. Here's something good to test. So since we know that all these leads are not connected together, so this of course is wired up there. I'm not worried about that. That would be a problem though if I went. So that's still working. Shouldn't work. Does work. That part of the switch works. So since we know we have three distinct switches in here, I'm going to confirm and see if the switches are working. It's right here. It's wired in jumper down to the lower part of the switch, so that's fine. That confirms that. This one should work no matter which position I swap it in, just because the switch is jumpered out. There we go. Our back switch. Man, it's getting cold. To be honest, this is kind of tough to get to. How am I going to get to that? All right, I'm connected to that. That's fine. All right, that's jumpered out to the black. So yellow is connected to black. Why? So now I need to know this yellow right here is connected to this black on this end, right? This yellow, which goes back to that yellow, right here. It's gonna this black which goes to black. So yellow and black are connected together and shorted right now. So T2, T4, and T1. No, that's black. Yellow and black. T2, T4, and P1. T2, T4, and P1 are shorted right now. Check that again. Let's check the top side of the switch. See if that's connected. Hang on. So now the top side of the switch. Checking it one more time. Goes to this blue, so we don't have to go black and blue. That's all we need to do. Black and blue. That should happen. That's fine. But now, yellow and black. Yellow and black should not be connected like that. I don't believe. Let me think. Is there any reason why yellow should connect to black in this position? So currently we have our T2 and our T4. Oh, excuse me. T2 and T4 is shorting out on our P1. So that's my issue right here. So any opinions, guys? See, look. If you look right there, T2, T4 is going to a black wire, P1 is going to our yellow wire, and those are shorted. If you look over here on this electric motor right here, the wiring, you can't really see, but whatever. T2 and T4 should be over here. That's part of line 2, and P1 is part of line 1. They should not be shorted together um, in the static position. So if I go back to my switch box, I think probably my best bet is to try to figure this out. So any reasons. So we got yellow goes to here and yellow jumpers down to there. So under one circumstance or another, it should short out. So if we're swapping position in the bottom up position going up, if we're going to extended position, is there any reason P1 should be short? I don't understand this one. Any reason P1? P1 is a black wire? No, P1 is not black. Yellow is P1, but I gotta check and see if it's the same yellow. Yeah. So I'm not quite understanding why this yellow is here, in my opinion. I'm not getting it. It's not like making it, but it makes sense for yellow and blue to switch. It'd be fine, yellow and blue. So everything's in the right position so far, except for this right here is what I'm not following. See if there's anything loose, not making contact. All wires are connected. Now there is some interlocks, and that's where this comes in line. So if I look, the blue and the brown go back a different direction. We're not concerned with them. They're just passed through. They're not tied in line with this circuit. We have a white, a red, a red and a green. So green goes into here, which is our interlock for our ground. Our white is jumpered over to an orange, and then our orange and our other colors go over here for our other interlocks. This white also comes out and feeds down and goes to a different circuit. Again, not tied in lines, just tying interlocks together. Uh, we already confirmed we have black, we have white, we have blue, we have yellow. Red, like I said, goes this black wire, which ties in line with this. And where does this wire go? So this is important, this wire right here. So this red wire right here is our power feed in. This is what our fused connection is. That's where our 110 goes. Our white is our common. Should be our neutral. Let me see, where does it go? I don't know. I'm not sure what white is. But we have voltage to the circuit, so I'm not super concerned about that. It's possible it could be something wrong with the neutral, but I don't think. And then our green was, of course, our ground. So it should be hot, neutral, and ground. If I follow that wire back, it goes bottom side. Hey, baby. Bottom side ties into this other switch box, and this other switch box goes down. So, um, I suppose there could be a problem with pass through, but I don't think that's the issue again. Why is the wires cut? Because I replaced it with this one, this big red one. So, yay, this is fun. Okay, don't touch it. It's a pulley. It turns this small pulley, turns the big pulley. This big pulley turns the gearbox. This gearbox turns this chain. This chain turns this gearbox. That chain turns that wire, which makes this tower go up and down. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually all the way down. It gets tall. It gets way taller than that. Well, we're working on that, so you won't get to see that for right now. We got to figure out what the heck is causing our problem here. I always think I understand how the whole switch works right here. The only thing I don't understand yet and have not quite figured out is what the heck our T2 and T4 is doing shorting out with our P1. That is correct. You got it right. So, don't touch it though. You can look at it. But yeah, that's no, don't. That's how it works. You can see it. But no, you can look at it. Just don't put your fingers on it. Not safe. Okay. Ah, voltage. Why is this not engaging? So there could be a problem with my switch. That's one theory. What? The wires in here? The wires look like a mouth, and the thing sticking out could look like teeth. Ugh. Oh, well, I don't see the same picture you're seeing, but that's pretty cool. I'm glad. Well, that's cool. Thank you for letting me know. So there also, I was talking about how that could be hot wires, but that looks like it's going to the other. I wonder what this goes to. There's two wires going. Watch out. Watch behind you. You don't bump this thing. Be careful not to bump it. You'll knock it over. So if we trace both of these, both go to here. Okay. So it does seem a lot more likely that they would follow standard wiring code, and this would be our hot, this would be our neutral, and this would be our ground. The way I could test that would be super easy. I would just hook a voltmeter up to it. These right here should be all of our interlock stuff right here. But also these three right here should be powering our um, uh, hydraulics. So that would make more sense for this to be our incoming line right here. It makes a lot more sense for that to be the case. Uh, it's a trailer. You can move this thing. Yeah. Yeah, so we can fold it up and then we can move it. The whole tower can fold down to the ground and then we can drive it off. Uh, they're bigger than a baby, yeah, but they're like the same size wheel on a truck. I mean, there's nothing special about them. They're wheels. All right. Yep. All right. Well, I'm still trying to figure this out, so I'm gonna check the some wiring. I'm gonna plug this booger back up. Watch out real quick. So I'm gonna go look. So I'm gonna see if I lose voltage when I try to do a switch. All right. Careful, watch your head. You will hit your head and it'll hurt. Don't do that. Just watch what you're doing. Okay, see if my theory was correct. Of course, I mean, I guess the theory could be no matter what correct because both of them are tied to the same thing, so that would be the same voltage. I would like to know which one was the incoming line, but it doesn't. No, that was a voltmeter, is what that was. So it's not affecting my voltage, it's not hurting me, it's not shorting anything out in the circuit. So we're just not engaging the unit over here for some reason or another. Maybe my little wire cap nuts are not working properly. I don't know. It's pretty tall. The whole thing's tall. Okay. I don't see any reason why this. Oh, hey! Looks like we might have just found our culprit. So now, well, why? So this just broke off of here. This is holding on fine. That's holding on fine. I need to solder this back in place. This is my T1. Is the circuit breaker just not working? That makes it go up and down, but it's not working right now. So we're going to bring a portable soldering iron out. We're going to go ahead and solder this piece up. Move all this wiring out the way. I'm going to go ahead and stick this right here. And I got to kill the voltage to this. All right, I'm coming back with the soldering iron. All right, so soldering iron is right here. Battery is there. Solder is going to be here. And now I don't know exactly where my warmers are. Whatever. We're done. We're going back in. Out here. Careful. No, it can hurt you if it's plugged up, so just stay away from it. You need to go a different direction next time. So come through this way. I know. I'll clean it up next time. Just come through the other door next time. Watch your step when you're coming out of here. You can fall. And there's thorns. Yep. That's why. Yeah, look, there's nothing holding that. You don't step on that. Okay. Let's go. Go around. I don't care. All right. We got to get some warmers going on. We going to try not to freeze out here in this weather. All right. We're on the motor, and I'll show you guys what happened. So we lost a wire off of T1, and maybe that's our whole issue. Brand new motor's got a problem. That's kind of dumb, but that's kind of what happens sometimes. Yeah, I do see them. Yeah, I'm glad you've seen them. That's cool. Whoa. Yeah, isn't that cool? Really pretty when you saw a bird fly and land in a tree. So I'm just gonna bypass T1. Did I unplug this? I'm gonna go unplug it to be safe. I believe I did, but if I didn't, then we gotta be safe. Oh, no, we didn't unplug it. Now, so I'm not gonna ask on this one. I'm just gonna disconnect that and tie T1 back over here. All right, you need to dress warmer. It's getting cold. Come back out here with another jacket if you want to come. It's fine. I'm not worried about more pants. Just come out with an extra jacket if you want to stay out here. Yeah, I think they're all airplanes. A jet is a type of airplane. A jet is a type of airplane. They're all airplanes. Yeah, they have a jet engine instead of a propeller engine. What? Yeah, the higher they are, the slower that looks like they're moving. Uh, the closer they are, the faster it'll look like they're moving. And they easily run between. Uh, People call it condensate that's coming off the back, but there's a lot of theories behind that, none of which you need to worry about. No, they have sunglasses. Then it would be hard to see. Yeah, yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and check this thing out real quick. Let's go ahead and plug it back up. Not really the moment of truth, but just something's got to get done. We have voltage. Uh, okay. So I need and I want to see voltage on P1, which is going to be our yellow wire. So I want to see voltage here, and then I want to see voltage come up to our normal position, which is going to be our T5 lead. Yeah, I'm in a tree. What? All right, T5. Okay. We. All right, T5 goes to white. Okay. That's so when I flip this switch, I'm not seeing It turns a motor, and like I said, it turns some pulleys. All right, it shows voltage. I'm getting voltage T5. Not right now. We'll talk about it later when it's time to go up. So T4 and T2 is our black wire. So we need to check our yellow to our black wire. So let's check our black wire. This should also read voltage. Call you what? Yeah, call you when it's time to lift it up. That's what I need to do. All right, let's check this again, and let's see what's happening here. So I have voltage here, right? I need to see, but this is already going back to the motor, and this feeds to these two. This right here goes to here. I need to see this. Okay, our P1. This is our P1. So now it needs to read back to here. So whenever I check this, that's what needs to hit. Okay, so I'm checking P1. I need to do this right here. So I need to check our wire that's working, which is our P1 to our normal and our T5. T5. So let's check T5. Back to P1 again. It works, right? Then we follow our P1 up to here. It works, right? I check it in here. It works. Okay, I don't understand. I have voltage going to the motor, and the motor's not turning on. So there's no voltage missing. I'm getting voltage to every position, every pin, every connection that needs to have connection. And I don't know at this point. Best I can figure, T2 and T3 are tied together, T4 and T5 are tied together. The only thing I can think is possibly that T8 doesn't have connection. T8 needs to be tied together with P2 and T3. T8 needs to be tied together with P2 and P3 when the switch is flipped up. So we need to measure T8, 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 so which is the blue wire. Blue has to make continuity properly. So blue T8 has to make P2 and T3. P2, T3. T2 and T3. If that's an internal connection. I could see a potential issue here. So, but, alright, let's just check this. T2, T4. T2 and T4 and T5 need to be connected together when this is on. T2, T4, T5. T2, T4, T5. T5 is here. T2 and T4 is here. When I flip this switch in the up position, these two should make continuity with one another. That would be black and white. I would assume, at least. So my issue is going to be most likely something to do with T2 and T4 not making contact to T5 whenever the switch is flipped up. It supplies voltage to T5, but also need to have voltage supplied to T2 and T4 because they're all three tied together for low voltage. So, but parallel to the one single external, T2 and T4 is parallel to one single external. It's parallel to the black wire. So I'm currently at an impasse here. I don't know. I'll have to bring what? When is Mom gonna be home? I don't know. Go play. Go. Oh, well, you can watch me then. All right. I don't like this. This is all right. So what I've got to do from here. All right. So the only thing I don't like not figuring out or not knowing is the position right here. So it calls for the same thing on low voltages, P2 in red and then orange all together tied together. So this is what this is doing is it runs through a switch and it switches the leads. So it's automatically swapping T5 and T8. It's supposed to be interchanging them through this switch. Uh, so what I'm not confirming is that our leads are tying in. So if I wanted to just test, I should just do it this way. Let me think. Daddy, if I touch like anything within my hands. Yeah, it's cold in there. I have. Look, here you go. I got something for you. It's something I'm going to be jealous of you for. This right here. Hold it. Both of your hands. It just says it's on. Don't touch it. Can you feel the difference? Yeah. It's warming your hands up. Because it's a hand warmer. Well, yep. Well, I just gave it to you. You're holding it. It uses power to get warm. So it has a battery in there. No, it has a heating element. The battery passes current through a heating element. That heating element heats up because it has resistance. And that resistance is what gets it hot. So it slowly drains the battery by using heating up some coils. So coils. So a bundle of wire only passes so much power. Once you pass too much power through it, it starts getting really hot. So that's a bad thing if you're using this bundle of wires. But if you safely do it the right way with a different bundle of wires, it'll make one of those hand warmers. It gets warm, but it controls it. So that's what that button, those lights are. It controls how hot it gets. So it won't get no hotter than that. No, you typically just stick it in your pocket. And if your hands are cold, just stick your hands in your pocket and stay warm. I don't know about wrinkly, but they might be cold. All right, guys, I'm at an impasse. This is beyond my skill set. Not necessarily for like knowledge or anything. I don't have a schematic, so I don't know how this is wired up. I've confirmed that everything is wired to where it is, but I have not confirmed that T5 and T8 are properly switching. I do have voltage going to T5 and I do have voltage going to T8, but the problem is T2, T4, and T5 need to be connected together for one direction, and then P2, T3, and T5 need to go connected to another to go a different way for the other direction. So I don't know if it's swapping properly. I don't know if my switch has got a problem. I know that one position of my switch is an issue because it's not passing voltage through. Maybe I'll focus. No, but I already confirmed that. So I'm in the working position, supplying voltage here, and I don't get voltage to the motor. I could do like a hard wire to the motor, which is just as easy to do right now. So that's probably what I'm gonna just do real quick. I'm gonna, Did I do that safely? The problem is I just want to get 110 over to this unit right here and just to see if I've got voltage. I don't really want to switch the switch. I just want to turn it on. But the problem is I have to flip the switch to do so, and then I risk having some of these getting bridged out to the wrong positions. If I bring my own wire out here with a 3 wire, I can pull these 4 wires off, tie in a wire to go one direction, and then just plug it and unplug it from yeah, let's do that. All right, I'm gonna go a little bit uh different today because I need to know if this motor works. So, hello, be careful. Don't come this way. Don't come all the way this way. I'm just gonna get a plug and come back. You can wait at the door. So I have some plugs over here. I'll be using these. Uh, they're in this box. It's a little hard to get to, not too bad. Okay, just watch your steps. That middle step is broke. Go around. Yes. Yeah, that's fine. Go around. Okay. We're gonna unplug power to the unit. We're gonna take power and throw it back here for us to use. Yep, and that's fine. That is okay. Mud ain't gonna hurt nobody. All right. This is the boring part of life. I gotta figure out why the heck this motor's not working. So now I gotta take some of my progress and take it out so that we can go ahead and try this. So we've got this disconnected. I've got some wiring right here. Let's go ahead and strip this booger back. And let's see if this motor powers up by itself. What? Uh, that's up to you to decide if you want to be angry about stuff like that. It's not a good reason to be angry because some people appreciate it, but they don't necessarily say thank you. Some people are just not appreciative. And then other people are just plain rude. Yep. But well, we have to deal with everybody. It doesn't matter who they are. So rude people, nice people, friendly people, uh, it's just part of it. So we only have 2 leads. We have our neutral lead, which is our P1 line. All right, hold on. I'm going to try to fix this real quick. So the P1 is going to be our yellow. We're going to disconnect our yellow, which is right here. And this yellow, yep. So we're gonna take our yellow. There's no. It's no. Yeah. There's a bunch of yellow wires in the red motor, but there's only one yellow wire coming from over here. Yeah, inside this thing. Those are called outriggers. Oh, is it cold? It steals all the heat from your body, don't it? So now we have a normal position, which is going to be. Yep. All right, I'm gonna cap this off just because I can, and I've got the tools to do so. It'll make your bottom cold, but yeah, sure. Set it down. All right, we got that one capped off. So now we're gonna go ahead and run our typical wiring, which is gonna be T2, T4, T5. It's gonna be one voltage. T2, T4, T5 is gonna be uh, our white wire and our black wire. Our black wire. Yeah, sure. That's fine. Just whatever. T2, T4, T5, 2, T4, T5. All these. I got a one wire. We're just gonna test and see if this daggone motor is working. So this is something I didn't confirm early on. This motor's brand new. I assumed it's working. I believe it's gonna be fine. I really do. It could have a problem, but I really don't think so. So now, in order to wire this up, we're gonna have P2, T3, T8, P2, T3, T8, P2 and T3 tied together. So I need to take the blue wire, take it out. And then I'm going to tie this in to P2 and T3, which is internal. P2 and T3. All right, this will tell me if the motor's got a problem or not. So P2, T3, T8. I have one somewhere, but I don't know where it's at. All right, so and then from there we have T2, T4, T5, T4, T2, T5. Okay, and then we have P1, which is right here. Okay, it's a moment of truth. If the motor works, then there's something wrong with the wiring. Yeah, no, not really. Ain't too bad because we hadn't solved anything yet. So if this motor turns on when I plug this up, this motor works, and there's something wrong with the wiring, the switch, or some sort of issue in the unit itself. I've done troubleshooting most of the day, but here's where we get to figure out if anything turns on. So motor turns on. So there's something wrong with the wiring, something wrong with the switch, something is not turning on properly. If I wanted to be lazy and quick, I could go ahead and, man, it's gonna be fun to change my wiring. I don't want to do that. Let's do it. Whatever. Let's see how this motor works. So this is a super temporary test, but you guys get to watch this and see how it goes. I am working all the way to evening so far. Look at the, it's getting dark. You don't see it. You want to see it go up? Let's watch it go up. So we're gonna go up, and then I'll change the wiring and make it go down. So you got to stick around for the fun part. We're just gonna try to run it up, make sure all my pulleys are working, make sure everything's doing what it needs to do. I have nothing on it right now, and we're just gonna run it up and have it go up. Let's see. I had to make sure it's raising. Yep. Yes, I hear you. I can see it myself, baby. Don't yell. I don't need you to yell. Hmm. Okay, nothing else is gonna get caught up, wrapped up, or a problem in here. What? Yes. Yep, that is a wind meter. So we'll watch the booger go up and away. So something's got a problem. We're stuck on something here. So from here, our issue is we've got a little bit of weight on here, and we don't have a lot of tension right here. So you guys can't see that, but I'm going to go ahead and raise this up real quick. Give me just a second to reset tension. If I get too cold, I will, but no, I don't know. Did the intake it? Do you have it? Where's it at? Don't be losing my stuff. So we're tightening up and retensioning our pulley real quick because it takes a little bit more than what we currently have. So I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with my switch box, but I'm gonna have to get uh, a little bit more time with this before I can figure out what's going on. There's an issue that I'm having. I already know the problem, but I don't know the solution. That's what I hadn't figured out. All right, that's good. We got pretty decent tension on there now. All right, let's see if it's stuck on something. I don't see anything it could be stuck on or binding on. Up we go. All right. So our issue now is nothing to do with anything really. It's just almost wiring, I think. So it's probably catching binds. Uh, What should we be binding on? So now, um, pretty much everything at this point just needs to be lubricated. So we're binding somewhat. We went up, what is it, 5, 6 foot, something like that. I've got to look through the tower and make sure we're not binding on anything. Waving a hand, Dirty Bird. Hope you're doing well. So, basically this is just a test of the tower. We already know the sled works. We already know the hydraulics work. Put a new motor on here and we're working on the new motor now. Of course, the sled, oh, we got it disconnected right now. The sled is right here. This goes up and down right there and holds, whatever piece I want to put in line. The tower, of course, is going up right now, but I've got to check and see if I've got any pulleys that are binding on me right now. It's a lot to look at, especially by yourself when it's getting dark. All right. I can see if it continues to bind or if I'm going to have to go. Let me see if I can see it. What's happening and where. What is holding us? So it's got a tight spot for sure, but it's like it comes through. Maybe maybe it's the fact that our voltage is dropping low. I think we're just dropping too much voltage is what I think it is. This is of course a very long extension cord. So let me check and see what my voltage is dropping to. So I've got a tie-in line right here. I don't have a light on this booger, so see if we can check and see what we got. One goes to here, and the other goes in there. Do I read voltage yet? No. All right, let's check and see. Okay, 80 volts is our issue, so we have a voltage drop on this. So I'm gonna grab, what can I grab? Uh, I need a bigger wire. So let me grab a bigger extension cord, see if I've got one. I had my generator over here, but it's not over here right now. Hello. Who? What am I gonna do? So we're dropping down to, I think, between 60 and 80 volts. So we need to be able to pass that current through here, when there's something coming. Uh, I've got, find some. Give me a second. Okay. Lord. But I don't know if I've got a bigger one. I definitely have some bigger one right here I can use. So this is an odd dilemma. Did not have enough juice. So I can continue running it at lower voltages with higher current. Okay. I need Yeah, that's fine. Go get, hey, go get me an extension cord. Go get me an extension cord. Eleanor, quit that. All right. So in the meantime, we're just gonna use what daylight we have left and what little voltage we have left until I get another extension cord, to try to keep going up with this thing. See if I can get through. It's not, of course, it's got a load on it. So of course it's got to push through whatever it is. Not enough current. 87 volts. We're having almost whatever is that, a 120 to 87. It's a 30 some on plus volt drop. It just doesn't have enough. So we can start with it initially at 90 plus volts and it does fine, but we just need more current. Can you go through? I'm gonna pop a fuse. All right. So whatever. We're good. I could keep running up with this, but I don't have enough juice right now, guys. So my extension cord's too small. It's like a 14 gauge. I already knew that was gonna be a problem, but I've got to go all the way up to my shop and either grab a generator, and try this, or I've got to get one of them to bring me an extension cord. They are headed out, so we'll give it a shot for a second longer. I'll try this. I shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna do it because I kind of want to move past this. So wire's getting hot, but it's just not enough current. Now, there is a legitimate concern that, of course, I won't be able to pass current even with a little 4 foot of wire that I got. But we are up from 29 foot nested to about 30 foot right now. Not a lot of height yet. So we've got no, yeah, 29 foot nested to maybe 35 foot, I guess. I would say, what is that? 3 foot a piece? Yeah, probably 35 foot. Uh, hang on, what is that? That's my bottom piece. Hang on, where's my base? Base is there. I got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, probably 15 foot higher. That would be my guess. What? Oh my goodness. Can't believe it looks pretty short there. All right. So give me a second. Let's see if they're coming with my extension cord. We will try to meet them. All right. Come check. Come on, Eleanor. We got to find our extension cord. I could steal one from, camper real quick. Let's see how big this one is. I don't know if my Bluetooth will stretch this far. So it's a 12 gauge. We'll plug this in, see if we got enough. It may or may not work. I don't know. They're right there. They're out there. No, I can't. I gotta do this door. Um, all right, we got a new power cord. I don't know if it's gonna be enough. We will give it a shot and see. Ooh, Lord. Okay, see if we got enough voltage on this one. Flashlights here. Watch where you're going. Close that door. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Uh, so we were just drawing over what the breaker could handle. So initially going up, we got to knock off any sort of scale or any other pieces. So we will get her going up. Hey, that's pretty good out here. That's pretty cool. Look, when I do my flashlight, that's weird. Can you see that? No, that ain't no stars. Okay, that's just me. All right, there is one star, but all right, don't close the door. I gotta go flip a breaker. I'm going around the other way. Sorry. This one. No, don't close it. I'm coming over there. All right, you need to go find my hand warmer. Figure out if Ian's got it. Tell him to give it back. All right. All right, flip this breaker. All right. Uh, that one looks pretty good too, actually. What gauge is this? 10 gauge or 12 gauge? No, it doesn't say right there. All right, plug it up where the red wire is. So if you look right here, close the door. Red wire plugged in that bottom plug. Plug this yellow wire down there. Oh. All right. So it's we're trying this out. Keep on going. Now I've got this on a 16 gauge wire, so this is just me trying to knock all the junk off the tower. You got that yellow wire hooked up? Bring it over here. Grab the end of it. Throw it to me. We'll try and see if it does a little bit more juice. Well, it's a little short. Let's see if it'll make it. All right. That's probably not long enough, unfortunately. See if you got any. Hang on, don't pull it on the wall. You gotta be careful. No, that wouldn't help me none. That's something different. Go check it and see if is it pulled tight? It, all right, it is. All right, come here and hold this. Watch your step. Hold it right here. See if we got enough length to do so. I don't know if we do. This is going to be a stretch, guys. All right. Top here. There ain't enough. It ain't gonna work. What? No, that doesn't help me none. I need the short wire is what I need. No, this is fine. I'm burning my leads out, but nope. All right, we gotta get something a little stronger, or we gotta grease all our fittings. So this is what we'll be working on soon, guys. This is our project. So this is how far we got. I would say probably in the neighborhood of 40, 45 foot or so. No, is what three? That's probably 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 20 foot. So 20 plus 29 is 59. No, ain't no 59. That don't make no sense. I think we're 40 something, between 40 and 45 foot. All right. Catch you guys later. Appreciate y'all. I cannot do any more until I fix and grease all these fittings. See ya.